I think we're going live, but I don't know if we're going to hear comments. Okay. All right. We're live. I think we're live. More than a mile. How you doing? Okay. I think we might be live here, but I have no idea. But it says it live. Okay. We're going. Hi, everybody. Indeed.
Proof.
What's happening? I'm Ryan, and this is my wife, Angela.
I'm Angela.
Oh, look, we got the little comments. It's all working. Welcome.
So many at once.
I know. I think we might have to turn them off. We might have to turn them off because there's so many going. Because it's going to be distracting. Okay. Right now, welcome to live stream number 4. Your intro music is Moon River by the Philistines Jr. Moon River's probably top 5 favorite songs of all time. And this is a really beautiful version of it. It starts off instrumental, and then he'll sing here in a minute. There it is. River wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday. Oh, dream maker. I don't know if people are looking at me here. Let's do that. Okay. I'm going to fade this out. There you go. Maybe we'll end with that too. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. This is my 4th live stream, and I've been wanting to do like a Q&A thing, but I'm not as smart as my wife, so I brought her along for some. I got a few questions from Facebook this morning that we're going to go through, and then we're going to have our guests, Mike Gordon, hopefully, and Josh Kantor here in a little bit, and then we're going to maybe they'll answer some questions too. So we might just go through it. Should we want to just like answer questions?
Yeah, let's try it.
All right. First one from Andy Whitaker. You want to read it? We haven't even really talked about this yet.
No, that's a good thing. Okay, Andy wants to know, if you can't play a card in Uno, do you keep drawing until you get a playable card, or do you just draw just one and allow the game to move on?
Okay, don't do the follow-up.
I won't. I'm not there yet.
Okay.
So
if you can't play a card in Uno, do you just keep drawing until you get a playable card? That's pretty cutthroat rules.
I'm going to say, if you're playing with children who have small hands, I also have small hands, but especially when you're playing with kids, because we play Uno a lot with our kids, or we kind of went through an Uno phase. We said that you could draw one, and if you couldn't play the card, your turn is over, because our kids just couldn't manage all the cards.
Wait, was it a draw 1 or draw 2?
We did draw 1.
Okay, draw 1. But here's where I think this is controversial. But I think when you're going 1-on-1 and you go for draw 2 to skip to reverse, you can play them all in a row. Is that controversial, or is that what the rules are?
Oh yeah, no, you can do that. That's a separate question, though.
It's a separate question.
And then honestly, Andy, your follow-up question: do Monopoly taxes go in the middle of the board to be collected when someone lands on free parking? We don't play Monopoly. We also don't play Life because they take too long and there's too much setup.
Yeah, Monopoly feels like. But the good thing about Monopoly is it's like that. My favorite thing, that YouTube video where the kid's crying and he says taxes.
I think it's a Vine.
Oh, it's a Vine. Okay, let's go to the next question. Do you want to read it?
From Brandon: has the quarantine been beneficial from a creativity or songwriting perspective, or has the inability for the 4 of you to collaborate in person been a creative hindrance?
Oh.
And yes, Brandon realizes there's a presumption in there that there's a suggestion that your fans are owed new music.
I know. I wasn't going to answer band questions. I don't know why I put that in there. But this might be good because it kind of I'm feeling very creative.
I can answer that question.
Why don't you answer?
Ryan has been very creative.
I
haven't created a single thing.
That's not true. We're creating something right now. This didn't exist before. Now it's happening.
I think for someone like you, who is an artist, for a true artist, someone who can't not create, this has been beneficial.
Yeah,
Not that you would have chosen it over not this.
No,
But-
it's not. But I think I've said this before on these. The first 2 weeks were really hard, and I read the news, and then I stopped reading the news, and then I've been making a ton of stuff. This has been really fun to think about as an outlet, because I'm like, oh, I want to do a Q&A. You can just do it. I don't know if it's going to be fun, but it's happening.
You know, Ryan also often says that you often say you need some parameters.
Yeah, I definitely need parameters.
In order to create, and we got plenty of parameters right now.
A lot of parameters. That's true. But you haven't been feeling creative.
No, I'm in a creative rut. So if anyone's got any suggestions.
Wait, aren't we in advice? Can you ask me?
I thought I tried. We were taking a walk the other day.
No, I just said that if you just do every day. You don't worry about the quality of it. You just do it every day.
And I think that's a practice that you have to first get into.
Yeah.
And I'm not in there yet.
You got to do it.
You got to jump on the loop.
You got to jump on the loop. Okay, this is following. Speaking, this is a nice follow-up from CC Irish. It's a great name. Hope that's a real name. Mm-hmm. When will we return to normal? What is normal? Do we ever shake hands after this?
We never shake hands after this.
But hold on.
No.
You were so prepared for the pandemic because you were always like, you didn't want to shake anybody's hand. And you were always saying, okay, I feel like, do you guys wash your hands after you blow your nose in a Kleenex?
Every time.
Every time?
Every time.
Oh, that's so weird.
So I don't think we will return to normal.
No. There is no normal. It won't be normal.
And this whole time I've refused to call this the new normal. So I don't think that we'll keep doing exactly what we're doing now. But I do think we're all going to have, I actually talked to my therapist about this for a minute. We're all going to have some, lowercase PTSD from this. We're all going to, I encounter people sometimes when I'm out for a run, and I think this thought, people are poisonous.
It's not good.
It's terrible. I don't want to still think that in 6 months. No. But I think there will be some of that.
Okay. I think that this will change everything in a lot. Well, I don't know. I actually probably should have thought about this before. Things are definitely going to be different. I think that I agree with the PTSD though. I think that this is sort of like, it's traumatic on some overt levels, but also on some subtle levels. It's underpinning some very vital underpinnings. But I've already taken so many lessons about stuff out of this. So I don't know. Again, all of this is coming from a place of extreme privilege. So everybody's experience is completely different. But I think my life will be different. I mean, the most common thing I've heard it compared to is 9/11 in terms of its scope, how impactful it is. And I think that things changed after that too. Even though we got back to normal, there was something that changed in the dynamic. And I think that's going to happen for this too. That's what I think. Okay, Liz Whelan Summers. The only food we have in the house is a picture of a pineapple, lentils, and Stacy's chips. That is a sad combination of foods. I would say, well, there is a website that you can go to. I forget what it's called. I think you can Google it, where you just type in what you have and it tells you what you can make.
Really?
Yeah.
I was going to say just like mash up the lentils, put some.
No, you don't want. None of those go together.
I mean, some sort of dip has to come out of the lentils.
I don't think you even just combine them. I think you just take pineapple and put chili flakes on them, chili pepper on them. Then you have spicy pineapple with chips. I don't know. That's a sad day, Liz. I'm sorry that that's what happened to you.
I'm saying I still think you want to dip those chips in something.
But all you have is lentils.
There's probably salt and pepper.
But there are pineapple. I mean, yeah, because people put pineapple in their salsa, but I'm not into that at all. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, Mary, we were going to ask you to come in, but she didn't. Oh no, it was Colleen. Oh yeah, Mary. It was Colleen. Sorry. Okay, if your wedding, you want to read this one?
Yeah. So Mary, if your wedding couldn't happen because you can't have groups gathering in June, what would you do? It's her first wedding, engaged over a year, been together much longer than that, and been waiting her whole life for this. She's in her 30s. And this goes for any life event being missed right now. My heart goes out to seniors everywhere too.
So the question is, should she have a wedding?
Yeah, I just read, so there's some headline in the Washington Post today about a couple who got married in the middle of the street in their neighborhood. His dad officiated via Zoom, and the whole neighborhood celebrated the wedding. That's cool and novel, but if that's not the wedding that you want, and I'm sure that isn't the wedding they wanted, but if you just have this image, this vision of your wedding in your mind, I don't know, I'd say you could wait. I think there will be a time where you can host a wedding
things
again.
Are gonna happen. We're gonna have a life again. I don't know.
Plus, I loved our wedding. I loved our wedding. It was the best.
We spent. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It was so rad, and we had such a good collection of people. And if those are the things you're looking forward to, if that's what a wedding is to you, like the people who are there and actually being together, I don't know. I would say wait.
It's not really a wedding it's just but you could get hitched and then throw a party.
Yep.
I don't know. Weddings. It depends what you want. I could have just eloped too. I had advocated
but
for.
You had so much fun at our wedding.
It was greet, but we would have had fun at a party too. I don't know. I think.
Yeah.
I think Mary
have a party.
Mary getting married. I don't know, been waiting a whole life for this? Yeah, if you're waiting your whole life, then don't let this little 6-month window be the thing. I say you wait. That's our vote. All right, we're going to keep going. Oh, we're going to skip this. This is for Josh. Hopefully he'll pop in later. He's not in right now. What do we got here? Oh, yeah, punctuation. Okay, my wife is a militant grammarian, so she is really excited, and a copy editor.
Excited for the punctuation question.
Ask these two, and these are for you.
All right, Susan, should punctuation be before the emoji or after? Or is it simply that the emoji is the punctuation? I love that you provided visuals in your question, and I wholeheartedly feel that punctuation belongs before the emoji. I think of the emoji as kind of a after. See, that's like an emoji that I just did. It's like the sentence with the punctuation at the end of the sentence is a complete thought, and the emoji is the next thought. And then you don't need punctuation after the emoji.
You don't punctuate an emoji.
You don't punctuate an emoji. But definitely.
But when she says, after dink, question mark, it's not or after question mark dink. I think it could be though.
Oh, really? Or because you're like, or after.
Or is the emoji the punctuation?
Definitely not.
But I don't even capitalize in emails. That drives you crazy. But so that segues nicely into the next.
No, you don't punctuate in emails. I don't capitalize in emails either, but you don't even punctuate anymore.
So I just use a lot of ellipsis. I love ellipsis. It's just such a lazy way.
You think you use ellipsis, but you're using more dots than the actual
What's the difference between ellipsis and dots?
Well, an ellipsis is 3 dots.
Oh, so if I use a lot of them? Okay.
It's just a series of dots.
Just a series of dots.
And then next, Delbert Jenkins, after a period, 1 space or 2. Guess what, Delbert? It's official. I am so excited, but I knew this and I knew the world would come around, but I found out on Friday that Microsoft Word has officially embraced the single space after a period. So if you're using Word, I guess people still use Word. And if you're using Word, and you do space after a period, it's going to show up as an error.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's now it's made its way in?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm a double spacer, though.
It looks so
Wait, why
weird,
does it make you so mad, though? Why does it upset you? Is it just the militant grammarian in you?
I just like it so much better with one.
I mean, we all have things we care about. Moving on. Did we answer your question? Okay, Jim Lowry. Do you wake up in the middle of the night and impulse buy stuff you don't need to? And what was the last thing you bought? Asking for a friend. I've been on a little bit of a run. Okay, hold on. I did pull up my orders. It's a lot. Okay, but hold on. A lot of it is vinyl. I'm buying a lot of vinyl right now. Not a lot, but maybe
now.
Well, it's just that
always.
We're listening to vinyl because when we had kids, I was like, I'm not going to stare at a screen to listen to music anymore, and I want them to appreciate albums. So I've been buying vinyl. So what did I buy? I bought Nick Drake and a vampire. My son, he's not in here. Vampire Weekend. He likes him. Brian Eno. I brought some extension cords. Hot Chip. toothbrushes that I read about on the
That was
internet.
real weird. That was a weird one.
Keyboard skin. This is not all in the
Okay,
last
but I'll
week.
tell you the weirdest
You have salt
purchase-
spray on there, by the way, just for the
Well-
record. It's not just me.
But that's not an impulse buy. So the funniest thing that I've ever seen, my email is the one attached to our Amazon account. So I get all the notifications. And I remember a few years ago, I was at work and Ryan was out of town. He was in LA and it was probably early morning in LA. And I got this notification that, confirmation of my Amazon order. And I looked at it because I was like, what's Ryan ordering? I think maybe it was like 6 a.m. in LA. And it was a costume that you put on and it makes you look like you're getting a piggyback ride from a teddy bear.
Maybe we can grab it before the end of the show.
And all I could think was like, I made
Wait, what
this
time
whole
did it
story.
come in?
It would have been 6 a.m. in LA. And I was instantly sure that he hadn't gone to sleep at all that night. But like all I could think was, what is he doing right now? Who is he with? What is he doing? And why did they decide that he should buy this costume? And I don't know that I ever actually got.
I don't even think I want
answer.
to answer it. It's just funnier if you just get an email. The question I would ask to Amazon is, can we both be on Prime, but not have you receive the confirmation every time I buy something
It
stupid?
doesn't stop you from buying it though.
Okay. So no, there was no real that. I don't know why there was something else I feel like I bought recently.
I actually need to do more impulse buying, I think, in the middle of the night. Because the other day I went on Amazon and I was like, God, what was I going to get? And if I would just do it while I'm thinking of it, I wouldn't have that moment where I'm like, I know there were 5 things I was going to buy, but I wanted to bundle them all in one order. And I was like, oh, I'll get to it later.
Exactly.
But I forgot and I never ordered them.
Okay, we got Colleen Elizabeth. Oh yeah, this was the person we were going to see if she could call in, but we didn't give her enough time. How messed up are our children going to be from this quarantine situation? Are we all going to hell in a handbasket for increasing screen time? What impact will this have on their brain? Sincerely, a concerned mother of toddlers. That's 3 questions.
It is. And I think lucky for you, Colleen, your kids are young. I think there's like an age range who will be the most screwed up, and I think both of our kids fall squarely into that range. I think for kids who are missing out on school right now, or for instance, our 9-year-old who, through no fault of his own, lacks the executive functioning skills really required to successfully complete the school year online. He will face a detriment, as will a lot of kids in his age group. And he's one of the lucky ones because he has me sitting next to him the whole time for 2.5 hours a day during school. I'm sitting there, I'm helping him manage. Our daughter, our 11-year-old, manages her own.
I sat with him for 2.5 hours today.
You did. It's the first time.
Not the first.
Anyway.
Save it for the therapy session.
But I think, they're calling it the COVID slide. It's like the summer slide.
Yeah.
So in that sense, a lot of kids will be all in the same boat, kids coming back to school. And that's assuming we're even going back to school in the fall, which I'm not 100% confident about.
You're a school board member.
I don't know anything other than what I've read, but I think younger kids, maybe the thing to think about with them more is not more. We should be considering social emotional things for all of our kids, getting them through, because like you said, this is traumatic.
I think it's traumatic. Yeah, traumatic.
So it's making them feel safe and loved and secure.
So the question is, are they going to hell in a handbasket for increasing screen time?
We've definitely increased screen time.
Oh my God. If I had never hear the word screen time again, what we did try, I will say yesterday, what today is? Today's Tuesday. On Saturday, we did a screen-free Saturday, and we all did it. And I thought it was really interesting because I'm reading a book, and like I would get past a chapter and I would instantly grab for my phone, and I was like was very revealing how much my behavior was around the screen. And of course, I realize I'm such a hypocrite. I'm staring at a screen, be like, "Get off the screen." I don't know, but we live in Vermont. And I need to stay connected. This is it's its own question for grown ass men and women.
Yeah, but I also do like the idea, the notion that we shouldn't be judging ourselves as parents right now for letting our kids have more screen time.
Yeah.
You're dealing with a whole hell of a lot right now. And I saw this Glennon Doyle thing on Instagram where she was like, every day, every minute of every day is screen time. Like, stop judging yourself. And it's the whole lower your expectations thing.
And I've also, and I don't know if this is correct at all, but I've sort of demarcated screen time in a couple things. There's like video games, which are like just brain user parts, which I think is fine. I think communing with friends, especially for our kids, is really important because they have no relationships outside of the screen right now. So I think that's really important, and I tend to have a long leash.
Tool.
Yeah, as a long leash for that. And I also think, we talk about this all the time because our daughter's doing a lot of video animations, and so I think throwing that in with screen time is not right because she's actually making stuff, and it's not a passive thing; it's an active thing. But
and then I still worry about her eyes. I don't know, like eye strain. Eye strain is real, right?
That's like grandma stuff where you're like, don't get too close to the TV. Like, that's been debunked.
Blue light, eye strain. But, okay, what impact will this have on their brains? I wonder if she meant will the screen time or the
I think maybe quarantine. All of it, but we already kind of talked about that.
It will have an impact.
But we have our guest here. Sorry.
I could go on.
I know.
This is why we wanted more Colleen. We could come back to it maybe.
We could do it. Maybe if this works.
Because we didn't even get into like the equity, the issues of equity in our culture and how so many people will be relatively okay, and then a whole huge group of people will not be.
I think that's the cover of like New York Magazine this week too. It's like two different kinds of quarantine. Yeah, privilege has to be acknowledged. Okay, but we're going to bring in, I think we're going to bring in Mike. We have a question for him.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, yeah, down there for the thing. Oh, hi, Mike.
Hello, how's it going?
Is that work? Oh, you're on your mouth won't sync up with your thing.
Hello.
What's fine.
If you walk, you have to smash in too. Hi.
Hello.
Oh, it's working. How are you doing,
Awesome.
Bud?
I'm doing good. Wow, I can see in your screen that my hair gets so high when I can't get to my hair cutter.
How long has it been since you got your hair cut?
Weeks and months.
You're doing these little live stream things too, right?
Yeah, Thursday nights. It's been fun. I'm learning the ropes of it, the ins and outs of it.
Wait, can you teach me what are your big takeaways so far?
Well, not to be worried if people drop off as you go along. That happens. Even the best, and by the best, I hear that John Mayer's current moods is kind of the most popular of all, even more popular than late night TV.
No way.
But so the first few I taught bass lessons, and I wasn't trying to just go for musicians. I was just sort of opening up the way I think and playing a little. But even then, and we even had other people submit videos of their take on one of a Fish song, and I got to hold up their videos. And but that got a little too pigeonholed, I thought. So I started having guests and just chatting it up, and I really enjoy being in that mode, but still trying to make it work. Like, how much do you listen to people's comments and respond to that? It usually takes a while of chatting without watching the comments so much. And,
oh yeah, because this is the first time I've ever turned on the comments before. But I think I may not. But they're being generally pretty supportive, I think. And I don't like the statistics either.
If people want to talk about 30 different things at once.
Yeah. I asked questions ahead of time, and then I put them in a little folder.
Oh, cool.
That's my hot tip for you, Mike, on your live stream.
I've done a little of that, or I've done the opposite. I've asked people, what do you want us to talk about?
Oh, yeah. So who have you had on as a guest so far?
Well, the first one, I had two band members, Scott Morawski and Robert Walter from my band. And then my mom, and she's a painter, so very influential to me as an artist, crazy painter. And this week, I'm having Danny Clinch, who's become like the top rock photographer. When we started working with him, he was not very well known. But he's working for everyone.
Fun fact. I think we were his first ever live action thing. He did a documentary,
Right.
Guster on Ice, from the State Theater in Portland.
Oh, cool. He's done a few of those, but that's great. I mean, now he's done a few.
And then
cool.
My other fun clinch story, which I can't do anymore, is at one point he gave me a Western button down and was like, "Man, I'm too big for these. You're a skinny guy," and he gave it to me. And that I was able to do that for like 10 years. And then I think I had to do that for somebody else. I was like, "Oh, I'm too fat for this." And I had to give it to another like young, wiry teen.
Oh,
but it happens.
He does have a good sense of style though, Danny.
Yeah, he's a stylish dude. We have some questions, and nothing specific to you, but this one is for Marie Papachak. This comes up first thing every GD day, and it is perplexing. I am not kidding. It's constant and brutal. Brace yourself. My question is, what should we have for dinner? So, Mike, how are you guys doing with dinner?
Well, I'm not a culinary type person, except what I fake, and I've made a good career out of faking that stuff. Because my tour announcement video had 45 records in a sandwich with eggs and bass strings and smushed in together, and that went viral, but it was fake, and there's no real cooking. Yeah, we had mouthwash mixed in with shaving cream and dirt and pine cones. So I don't know that I would recommend that. I'm a vegetarian, and I'm also trying to get my blood pressure down by a teeny bit. Now I think it's down. So what I would recommend is healthy, whole foods that are cooked well by someone else.
Nice job. I think my go-to every time Angela asks me what we should do, this is for Marie, and maybe for you, Mike, is just grab a rotisserie chicken from the grocery store, because you can use it in a couple different ways. The chicken's already cooked.
Oh, yeah, but not vegetarian. Maybe like a mock chicken, or maybe like mock chicken glued onto real chicken bones, or real chicken glued onto
feel like
plastic.
do you get into like bowls, like rice bowls,
Sometimes,
green bowls?
Yeah.
That's kind of my.
Yeah, but then I'm trying to see. I'm a little bit older than you guys. I can't even have rice. You want to talk about passing down your rock and roll clothes? You eat some rice when you're my age.
Oh man,
Wait, why?
It's
because you bulk up.
You bulk up.
Starchy things.
All right, starchy vibes.
But Tuesday nights, Fish is doing this thing where we stream a show every Tuesday night and have a recipe. And so tonight is a Tuesday, and I'm doing the recipe, but since I don't cook, it's not from me. It's from Michael, who is the celebrity chef who runs Zahav, the Israeli restaurant in Philadelphia, which is one of the top in the country. And we went there on one of my tours and had a life-changing experience, and we got to go in the kitchen. But it's a few things like a cauliflower and hummus and sweet potato thing. And so that's at least one thing for Tuesday nights.
I have a quick question. Do you guys ever eat as a band together on the road? Do you go out for like family meals at like when you have like the chef invite?
That's a good question, because after 37 years, all we try to do is have some distance, but then we get some closeness, and it's nice when we do. That these bands that have been together 50 plus years taught us a lesson about make some space, stay on different floors of the hotel or different hotels. Did you ever hear that one? Like the Chieftains, they were together, or Modern Jazz Quartet.
Wait, the rule is to stay on different floors, because you're 10 years ahead of us. How long have you been a band now? First date? 37. So we're like 29 years in.
That's not too far off.
We kind of built in the space there. I don't even think that anybody gave us that advice. I think we just figured it out by accident. Trial and error, maybe.
Salt to the wound. I'm kind of the black sheep. I just go after myself a lot. So sometimes I'll go to catering, and there'll be the three of them sitting there, and I'll sometimes sit with them. And there is a lot of band camaraderie and communication. Crazy stories. Fishman is reading about some historical thing from 500 years ago, the rise of the Ottoman Empire, and then Trey is reading about current events and tying it all, and Paige is tying it all together, and I'm fascinated, but I'm not always so talkative. I'm the one that sits there and every 3 minutes says one thing that I hope to be funny, and then I shut up for 3 more minutes.
You just wait for your moment.
I wait for my moment. But so sometimes, and then what happened, I don't even know if I'm allowed to admit this, but I am because no one's here policing me. So the band stopped going to catering. The band has its own chef now because certain people that
Colton's gonna hate me. Go on.
Yeah. What else can I'm gonna give you all kinds of rumors that'll probably break up the band right here and right
No, I don't want to do that. I like your band.
it's still a great, fun group of people after all these years. Everyone loves each other. But certain people had some culinary needs and some, specific desires, and we decided we for budget reasons we stopped bringing our own catering company like we used to with a full truck. But we do bring some people. I don't even know exactly how it works. I should shut up. But we bring some people to coordinate it. Anyway, and it's always great. So, but then now we have our own, this person that used to work for Beyonce, just doing stuff for the band.
Oh.
And it was kind of funny. I'll just expound even more. And see if
Go on. Mike, you're so good at sitting there not talking.
Yeah. Well, when we first started doing it, the band was eating alone in the dressing room. But I don't like eating it at a coffee table. That's one of my pet peeves. I like a full height dining table. Not to be all picky and rock fucking diva.
How's the quarantine going for you, Mike? I hate hitting it. I need a table height.
I need a full height 30-minute table, or it's not gonna happen. And then the band wasn't showing up anyway. They were all eating in their dressing rooms. I thought, okay, I'll just stay in the tour bus. My family wasn't out on tour at that point. Often they are. And I started really liking that, just hibernating, doing my bass scales and eating while doing my bass scales. And then the family did come out, and then we started doing the opposite thing. We started sort of pretending that we were eating at catering with all of our good friends on the crew and et cetera. But then this chef would walk in and shove something different down, which is especially awkward when the caterers themselves are our good friends from Burlington, Vermont.
They're definitely first world touring problems.
Not only that, but great chefs too. Yeah, it's a little bit. It's kind of rock star. It's not. It's a luxury, but it's been really good.
So this doesn't get you to off campus very often to find the chefs who open up the restaurants.
I go off campus every day because I find the hipster coffee shops in every town, and that's a whole process. And I'll spend like 90 minutes just going to Yelp and whatever and comparing. They have to have the right font and the right,
right. Which I feel like the last time that we texted, we were on tour. I think we were in Denver or something, and I was at some hipster coffee shop, and some guy was talking, and he's like, Mike Gordon was just here and spent 3 days here. And I think I texted you, and I was like, I think you were spotted here. Like, yeah, I love that hipster.
Street. If it's Denver, it's Larimer Street, and they have so many. Within one block, you can have a place that makes their own almond milk. Go to the next block, they make their own walnut milk. Next block, they make their own cashew milk. It depends what nut milk you want in that moment.
This is really important stuff.
Especially while I love Larimer Street. But, here's, just to come back for 1 second.
Yeah, please, sorry.
The problem for the person trying to be healthy on the road. I'll go to catering, and it's completely delicious, and I'll forget that there is a band chef that's separate, and order a full plate, eat half of it, and then the other comes, and it's like, well, I don't want to offend anyone. I have to eat this is the night I eat 2 meals right there and right then. Anyway.
And that's how you roll off it. That's why you got to bulk up.
You got me. I'm sorry. You got me rolling on this one. So
in between food sets, would do the trick.
I know, Mike. I'm excited. I like it.
Letting the hosts talk. I'm giving away all the. So in between sets, we always have 2 hot foods. All right. But coming off stage after like being all sweaty and whatever, even though I'm just standing there, still sweaty for some unknown reason. I'm not Donald Glover or anything. Anyway, so I'll get back there and eat a lot of something. So I always requested that they both be meat, because then I won't eat any of them. And I've done that for years, but this new chef doesn't get that. And now it's back to being vegetarian. And if it's like a buffalo cauliflower wing, something, I'll have 28 of them. Yeah,
they're really good. You're not wrong.
And now what I've decided is I'm not going to go to the band room. Ritualistically, we get off stage, and before seeing our families, we go to the band room, and it's just positive. I'm not going to go. And I told them I'm not going to go until all meat foods return, because I'm a vegetarian and I can't eat 28 of anything before.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to. What's the name of the restaurant in Philly where is it Israeli?
Zahav. That is a
Okay.
great one. Yeah.
All right.
Which means gold. Zahav is the Hebrew word for gold.
I'm learning all kinds of things on this live stream today.
Mhm.
All right. Do we have any? Is there any more? There was another question for this. Which one? That one? No.
Anything that's not going to make him talk your ear off again.
No, it's good. Okay, this is nice, actually. This is from E. Kate Galuza. I would love to hear how the transition has been on a personal level from being gone most of the time on the road to being home all the time with your families. That was directed towards me, but I feel like you could answer that too.
Oh, we could both answer it. Well, I've generally really liked it, and because, well, Fish isn't on the road a
Right.
chance, and neither one of them is on the road that much as
Right.
compared to 20 years ago. Or more, 25 years ago. 25 years ago for us, it was 9.5 months out of the year, and now it's about 2 months out of the year.
Oh, right.
So usually I'm home anyway, but the difference is I go to town every day to do my work and my songwriting and anything else I'm doing. So to stay home and do that has been really good for me because it's a whole new kind of focus that I've had to learn. Not being distracted, getting on task, at home in my little music room at home. So I've kind of loved that, and being around the family more where they're not, because usually there's only 3 of us plus people working with us or whatever, but the 3 of us usually scatter instantly. I take Tessa to school and Sue does all of her stuff in town. I do my stuff. Sometimes we all have dinner together. Half the time we don't. So this is kind of old school. Even my family growing up was kind of like scattered, but when I was really young, we always had dinners together. And to come back to that is really kind of special. We're like getting to know each other in a whole new way. So we're
hearing. We have friends who a couple of our friends have said that they have like kids who have tons of commitments between whether it's dance or sports or whatever, and when all of that goes away, you're actually spending so much more time with your kids and getting to know them at whatever age and phase they're in.
I mean, except what I overheard you guys talking about screen time, and we don't have to. You already had that conversation. That's a massive. But still, there's time left. Tess and I sing a song. We learn a new song every night and sing.
Yeah, you guys are playing music. It's like I think that I don't get my daughter doesn't like to play music with me as often as I want her to, which is all the time. But I really enjoy. I saw you guys play before when you were at Lamp Shop. It seems like probably one of the most magical things you could do. Probably.
It's so fun. I love it. I have people say like, "What are you teaching her?" And I'm like, "I'm not. I'm just learning from her how to sing
amazing.
in a gentle, pure way." And like kids are more. They haven't built up so many layers of resistance.
Right, you can see that coming. I had a question before. Did you, and I know that you're just always making stuff, and did you, when everything kind of went down and you were in this new iteration of life, did your creativity, did your output stay consistent, or did it dip and then come up, or have you just now, or like, do you feel like it sounds like you're in the zone now, but I was wondering.
I mean, I am a neurotic. We're all neurotic. I have my issues with. Here's what I'll do as a firstborn. I'll spend all my time organizing rather than doing the creative thing. Or finding distractions that are legitimate instead of not doing the main thing.
Right.
So I want to get better. And not only that, but also to answer your question about touring, to tie it together with the touring thing, is the summer is when, I don't know if it's true of you, but Fish tours a lot in the summer. And even if my band does something out or Fish does something out of the summer, it's smaller, shorter, it's a couple weeks. But Fish will go for month and a half or whatever. So that is going to feel different, except that Vermont is so beautiful in the summer. So anyway, between now and summer, I definitely want to get better at creative. I've read all these books on creativity, and there's always like, did you ever see The War of Art?
Yeah, War of Art.
War of Art, so resistance.
Yeah.
There's always something trying to stop you from doing what you really, facing the unknown, because it's harder. Reading an email and answering it, which is from someone else, is 1,000 times easier than writing part of a song or a new song that's never been written before.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, facing the unknown. So I would like to put myself in that fire, what do you call it? The line of fire, of creative fire, more readily, more hours of the day. I do need to get better at it. And now that I'm working, sequestering, quarantining.
Right on. Okay, well, let me ask you one more question, and then I think because I'm trying to get the Red Sox guy on, but maybe we could all be on together. Do you guys play this game, Rosebud Thorn? The best thing that happened today, worst thing that happened today, and
That's
the thing
cool.
you're most looking forward to. Did I do that right? Right.
Mm.
So your rose is the best thing that happened today. The thorn is the thing. What is it? You're not. It's not the worst.
The biggest challenge
The
for
biggest
you of the
challenge,
day.
and then the thing you're most looking forward to.
Yeah, the bud.
Okay. The best thing is that, well, we are, what is the word that we use? Sheltering at home in a complex with our guest house with more people than just the three of us. And the cool thing is that today we played a song with 6 of us, and not everyone musicians. And that was pretty cool. It was like house band. That might have been the rose. The thorn is technology is just sometimes I've used so much technology, software and hardware for so many decades, but to be able to use, my daughter's using GarageBand to write a song, and I usually use Logic and their cousins, but then there's an interface, and then it needs a firmware update, and it won't take the firmware update because the firmware updater needs to be updated, and 1,000 layers deeper than that. That might have been the thorn. The thing I'm looking forward to, I don't know. Again, I'm not always Mr. Culinary, but I'm going to actually help this time because we got the ingredients for the Zahav dishes tonight.
Yeah.
That could be a nice one for me to actually step into the kitchen and help to make some labneh or whatever it is.
Are you are you doing live commentary? Is that the kind of the vibe?
No,
you just watch the movie and then you cook.
I've never watched the movie. We stream.
Have you? Okay, this is a good closing question. Do you ever listen to fish shows ever?
Yeah. For years I didn't. And I also didn't listen to my own shows for all kinds of different reasons. But what's been great recently is I've gone a little bit in the opposite direction. I don't listen to all the shows, but I've always written in my journal that this set or this couple songs, it's usually a jam, and it's the jam band world. There's the song. The song has to be good too to merit having this 18-minute stretch after it. But anyway. But if I really liked it in my journal, I'll put it on a list. And after the tour, even sometimes a couple tours worth are over, I make a playlist. The Live Fish app is so convenient. In fact, all the Fish guys we learn our own songs by streaming them. I've even had to pay for them sometimes. If like my login isn't working on the Live Fish app. So I'll make a playlist of everything from my journal. And then what I was doing is listening through if they're like 18 songs from the tour, because every version is different with Fish. And then I'll weed it down to maybe 11 and then listen again. I'll do another drive and maybe take a couple more out and then I'll share it with, I was sharing it with the fans. Now I'm actually sharing it with the other band members too, because they've been appreciating it.
Oh, that's cool.
I've been really enjoying it. Here's the catch for me. When I do that, and I do the same thing with my own band, make a best of playlist, and I have to listen in the car, period. If I listen when I'm not driving, I will hate it.
Yeah, that's weird. I feel the same way.
Really? Yeah,
what do you think it is?
Spiritual awakening during this jam, and I hear it back. I tried this the other day because I haven't driven in a month. I was trying to listen in the room I do my workouts. Often I've been doing workouts with a trainer on Skype, and then other times going on the treadmill. But this was the kind of thing I could do alone with nothing in the background. I said, okay, I'll put on one of my shows. And it was one of my favorites from my own tour. And I didn't like it one bit, not even a tiny bit. And then I did my first drive in a month to just deliver a birthday present and drop it on someone's doorstep. Actually, my trainer's doorstep. I turned 25. And I listened to my show, the same one. And I was like, oh my God, I see why people like me. Because I'm in the car driving, and like that part of the brain.
Well, this is exactly right, and I'm exactly the same way. I need to like have my lower brain operating so my higher brain can concentrate. That's like exactly. I hate talking on the phone, but if I can walk and talk, I'm amazing. It's all
Yeah.
that, and even I play like Candy Crush or some other bullshit, and
Yeah.
but I need like it's good because it almost allows me. I think it's an ADD thing. I need
Mhm.
something to focus this kind of lower energy so my mind can be open. At least I
Well, it's
tell
especially
myself.
because, like, as artists, we get critical instantly. Like The Artist's Way, that book that teaches you how to silence the critic, the inner critic. But it's always there, even if you're famous or you could be you could have a Pulitzer Prize or whatever. You're gonna start writing a book and you're gonna think that it's gonna suck instantly because that's how we're programmed. And so just to get that, for me, driving. So it's not just, it's that part. It's the part that's going to analyze that somehow is now watching the road.
Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't thought
Too bad
about
the
it.
Tesla will drive itself, but
Um,
just leave that up.
all right. Well, I'm really glad to see you, and I'm glad
Yeah,
that
you too.
it's nice,
Maybe,
and that maybe when this is all over, we could
yeah,
be in Shelburne Farms in real life or something. And thank you for being
exactly.
generous with your time and
Yeah,
your
thanks for
thoughts.
having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of
Thanks.
course. And I'm gonna see some of the movie. What do you know? What show you're streaming tonight? The Fish Show.
It's ironically, I usually don't even know.
Oh,
Yes, I
you
do.
know.
It's Las Vegas from 4 years ago. I think that would make it the David Bowie, the Ziggy Stardust performance. If I'm right, I may be wrong, but I
Okay.
did see that it was going to be Vegas.
All right.
And I mean, I could
No, that's
check my
okay.
Fish
People are
email
on the
blast. Here it
internet.
is.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah, it's Las Vegas, and it's 16. Oh, if it's 10/28 though, the question is, did we play the David Bowie album on Halloween proper, which would have been 10/31, probably, or did we do it on 10/28? I think we might have done it on 10/28.
I'm sorry, my fish knowledge is not that deep right now, Mike. I hate
Ed
to
O'Brien
disappoint you.
from Radiohead was there, and John Mayer was there with three friends, all dressed in unicorn suits, purple unicorn suits.
That sounds very John Mayer. I can't believe he came up in twice in this. Maybe we got to get. He won't come on my stream. You're a good guy. Well, thanks for coming, Mike.
All right,
Say
thanks
hello
for
to
having-
everybody.
yeah.
We'll see you down the
Okay,
road.
see you later.
Bye, buddy.
Bye, Mike.
All right. There we go. We're at 47 minutes. This is long. We didn't want it to be that long, but this is great. Okay, let's bring in Josh Kantor. Where are you? Hey, buddy. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah.
Oh,
can you hear
hi.
me?
I like your
How's
shirt.
it going?
Hello.
Good.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry
Appreciate it.
I'm sorry that I kept you waiting. Maybe I sent you a bum link.
Yeah. No, it was fine. We were having technical issues on our end. I think this is the standard these days. Is like a lot of trial and error to get it
People
right.
are slightly forgiving. How did your show? You do a live stream every day. How did yours go?
It went really well. The one zany thing that we did was usually I just take requests and I play pop songs, but today someone specifically requested a 10-minute freeform psychedelic improvisation, and so I did it
Wait,
against
really?
my better judgment.
Wait,
Yeah.
Mike Gordon from Fish was just on. He would have loved that.
I know, it's crazy. Well, so that's what. So I had told people I was going to do it because it came up late yesterday, and I brought it in today. And this guy, we're raising money for food banks on our show, and this guy was like, "I'll give you $500 if you do this."
No way.
And I don't want to set up a precedent where like people are buying song requests, but I was like, I took the bait, So people
You're a
tuned
good
in
cause.
today, knowing it was going to happen, and I mentioned, I was like, and after my show, come watch Ryan Angela's show, and I think people came over, and so there was this, there was a confluence there.
Oh, wait. So did you just did a full psychedelic whammy bar jam? Did you have a drum beat going behind or no?
Yeah, I had some different drum beats and sort of some polyrhythms and some alternating tempos, and it was wild, man.
Was that the first time you ever played original music on your show?
I guess it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you think you'd do it again?
No, probably not, because I've already done it. I'd be up for some other insane challenge. Like if somebody said, "Hey, could you play like What's Going On from front to back in its entirety?" I'd be like,
that's a great idea, because when people make requests, you're doing all this by ear, correct?
Yeah, by ear and by memory.
And you have perfect pitch?
I don't have perfect pitch. I have good relative pitch.
Right. So you can then, wow.
I'm not necessarily playing the song in the key that I'm recording or anything. I'm just playing it in whatever key I'm hearing it in.
Right. Like I had heard that once that Billy Joel has a special piano where he plays every song in C, and it just changes the key, so he never has to learn different.
We have to play black.
Yeah,
I
no
think,
black.
I feel like I may have heard that from somewhere. Well, I also heard this story that Irving Berlin had a special piano so that he could write everything in G flat, which would make it harder for people to rip off.
Oh, interesting. I like that. Well, I'm glad that you got to make some music today and feel, I mean, I'm sure that all these feel relatively creative anyway, but I like the part where you were really, were you scared? Were you nervous?
About doing
Playing,
a show?
yeah, no, about just going out without a net and just like playing like psychedelic riffing.
No, and I guess only because like I've done it so many times. Like I've played, countless shows and ball games where I don't know what's coming next, and I'm just listening and following, and it's kind of like, it's like you're the train conductor, and the train's moving fast, but you also have to be like kind of laying the rails in front of you as you go, and as long as you're like 2 or 3 rails in front of the train, then there's still track for you to stay on.
Yeah. And you've rarely fallen off the track.
Occasionally, but on the live stream that can be fun. At the ballpark that can be terrifying, but on a Facebook show it can be really fun.
I was gonna say, it seems like the stakes are pretty low. No,
your show, Josh.
No, but that's the thing. Like all the stakes are low right now, except for just like for things like health and safety. Everything else is relative.
We've all gotten accustomed to lowering our expectations, or we should hopefully lower our expectations of ourselves in a lot of different ways. So,
yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I didn't want to. I wanted to ask you one more question, and then maybe you could do our outro music if that's cool, because I didn't want to keep you too long. Did you see the Rosebud Thorn thing? The best thing that happened. The rose is the best thing that happened to you today. The thorn is the most challenging thing that happened to you today, and the thorn is the thing you're most looking forward to.
Or the bud is the thing you're mostly.
The bud. Yeah. Sorry.
So you want me to do Rosebud Thorn for today?
Yeah, for today. And you could even score it musically, or you could do it with your mouth. There's the challenge. Is this the rose?
This is the rose. I mean, I would have to say the rose is the rose on most days is doing the live show with my wife Mary, who's ostensibly the producer of the show. She handles all the technology. She monitors the chat to make sure that requests get picked up. And we had no plan or intention of doing this, but it's turned into something that like we both know that we have something to look forward to every day, and it's something that we get to do together. And our schedules are so like out of sync most of the time under normal circumstances that it's just like terrific to have this thing, scheduled in stone in the middle of every day. So that I'm going to say is the rose.
That's nice.
Let's see, the thorn.
You need minor.
What was a thorn today? I guess. See, the thing is, I'm not well. What's the thorn? I guess the thorn was like the 5 minutes of panic that I had this morning, worrying about my financial picture in the coming month.
Is that relegated to only 5 minutes a day, or?
It is, because I still have my part-time day job, and my wife still has her job. So,
right.
I'm not my music income is not, is just part of that picture. So only 5 minutes of panic.
Okay, that's not too bad. And then we didn't do Thorn. We didn't do Bud yet.
Oh yeah, the Bud, which is.
We need a musical interlude for Bud.
Yeah. And
you're awesome.
Thanks, man. I guess the Bud was that around 2:00, my wife said, "Hey, it's really beautiful out today, and you haven't been outside yet. Let's just go for like a 10-minute walk around the neighborhood." And we, put our coats on, put our masks on, and did it, and it felt great. And I tell myself that I'm going to force myself to get outside every single day, it doesn't always work, especially if it's kind of a crummy day. But that was a really nice bud, because then things just kind of opened up. You know, my mind and body and spirit and soul kind of all opened up.
We agree. We live in Vermont. And my wife today said, as soon as this thing is done, we are all going outside for a very long walk. So I think in like 6 minutes, we'll be out in the woods. Well, listen, Josh, I'm really glad to meet you. And I know I've interfaced with you sort of virtually.
I didn't know you guys had never met.
No, we never met.
Wow.
I see it sometimes because our fans will request on the Twitter, and because I Google, and Josh is like has done some things, but also like I think there's just a lot of overlap. When I announced that you were going to be on the show, like 10 people that I know were like, Josh rules, including one of my managers, and you've got a very fervent fan base, Josh.
Well, no, I mean, it's lovely. I think we have, I think we know a lot of the same people from the rock world and the indie rock world and the New England world and all that kind of stuff. So it's always delightful to like expand that circle of friendly people,
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, and this I was not trying to read the comments, but I did. If someone wants to donate to your what was it that you were raising money for, the psychedelic free jam, was for who?
Oh, well, every day we're raising money for local food banks. So we encourage people just to make a donation to their own local food bank or local food pantry. And feedingamerica.org has information about that if people are not sure. And we also say that if you're someone who is in need of a food bank right now, like avail yourself of that, because there's a lot of people in need.
Awesome. That's awesome. It's beautiful stuff. Okay, so rather than I was going to have you do outro music, and sorry, ginger ale. You had asked what I wanted to play, and I was trying to think about a Guster song, but I'm actually don't want to hear a Guster song. But I did ask I did want you to play one of my favorite songs of all time. Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Can you take us out? That would be awesome. All right, Josh, thank you so much for doing this, and say hello to Boston for me, and we'll see you down the road.
Absolutely.
Bridge.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh. Great job. Really nice to meet you. Well, take care of yourself. All right. Ciao. All right. Thank you for tuning in to the 4th ever.
I don't know. We might have to do this again because there's like 6 questions we didn't get to. That
I know.
Really wanted to talk
I know,
about.
but I wanted to over prepare. Okay. Well, Angela and I wanted to say thank you for coming along to our thing. And thanks to our guest, Mike Gordon and Josh Kantor. And we'll see you later. Goodbye.